Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Kalamazoo Engine Machine. Today, I'm going to show you something that I am building, which is this thick 1.3 thousandths metal plate, and we're making a boring bar floater plate, which it'll sit on this part of the boring bar, and then that way we can use our brand new fancy blind hole cutter from Beam Equipment. So let me get this rolling and I'll show you what we're doing. And there we go. Okay, so let me show you kind of what we're doing here. Today we are touching up this oval piece, okay? And that way I have access through the support of that boring bar. I guess there's a special term. I don't know if it's the bridge or whatnot, but it's this cavity area where on a boring bar you put a anchor plate or an anchor piece through. So nothing fancy today. I just noticed we have a lot of traffic on the YouTube channel, and I'm in here today working on just random stuff, and I need to make this floater plate. So I figured since it's something I'm making one off, I'll go over the quick 3-day process of figuring out how to make this. It's taken me longer than I thought it would, but it's the first crack at it, and sometimes that takes longer, and you're gonna, maybe miscalculate how long things take. So let me show you over here on my messy rod bench, this is actually an oil tank. So I'll show you what tools we used. At first, to start the hole, and I got pictures along the way and I'll put them in on the video. This is a 2-inch hole saw. It's called an annular hole saw or cutter, blah, blah, blah. First, this I call an annular hole saw. It's carbide tipped. Okay, this is 2 inches and I need to get a 3-inch and a 3.5 inch so I can do this type of stuff a lot easier. But my nifty little 2-inch boring head here, which this is nothing special. Okay, and then I used this fancy little bit from Mesa Tool, and I had to do some grinding on the pin. They make an adjustable one of these, okay, where this pin slides, and I definitely want to order one of those to put on more of these, and this one I'll set up in one size or something and retire it. But I used this little boring head to go from 2-inch to 3-inch, maybe even 3.5, and then I switched to this Mesa Tool, which, I'm not paid by any of these guys. I'm just showing you that I give even shout outs where shout outs are due. This is a very cool tool I found on eBay that holds that insert at the right angle, okay, to fit in that hole right here. So I'll put pictures in. That process took forever. Once I got over 4.5 inch, I had the machine going 75 RPM and I had 20 thou depth of cut, and I had to bore it and bore it and bore it. And I've got a ton of chips right there. So anyways, just a little update. I wish my end mill here was a little longer so I could get all the way through, but it looks like I'm gonna have to flip my plate and clean that up on the other side here shortly. While I was working, I just figured I'd take a quick video. Say hi to everybody that was watching, and I want to answer all the questions in the comments. There's some really good questions and comments about tilting the Surface Surfly cutter from our last episodes, and I am totally gonna fill in the whiteboard and go over all of it. And don't forget, I still have, it's upside down right here. I still have it. It's sitting right here, fly cutter. I got the Positive Rake PCD insert in. So now I can do the ultimate of the ultimate test, which is Positive Rake PCD insert on aluminum on my 12-inch. So that will be the best this mill probably could ever do for fly cutting. So anyways, stay tuned for that. The insert's in not my possession yet, but it's here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, where I can go grab it. So I'm excited. Let's see here. That's it for this second. Let me get cutting and I'll put some B-roll in here for you. Okay, let me show you where we're at so far. If I can zoom in here. We have that machined out really nice. Okay, so I'm going to do another step over and keep going. And I'll give you an update in a second. All right, I blew off the parts here and got the table looking more presentable. And before I take the plate off and flip it, I wanted to show you how I had this squared up, which is pretty simple here. I just had this, 1x1 precision ground stock, and I lined it up with the flat of the table. And this block, I kind of just put it here, and I took another one and kind of did this to it. So then I pushed everything to these, and it should be pretty square. So when I rotate this, I'm actually going to flip it like that. So this side stays on this side. And I might not be able to, I might be able to keep some more squareness in it when I cut this. See, I couldn't reach down there. That's what's going on. That's all supposed to come out, and it's all supposed to be an oval. But the flutes on my cutter are not deep enough. So this is just like a 1 inch. So anywho, before I tear this down, I just figured I'd show you that. So I'll be right back at you. All right, I'm back here with the plate. I have it inverted, and even though this isn't square looking, this is square to this. I used the block blade again. So here's the plate upside down. I need to trim out that last bit here. So I'm thinking either I might just be able to cut straight across a few times all the way down and then top over here and make a little drop because it's such a small piece. So anyways, that's probably what I'm going to do. Make it as flush as I can with the bottom machining marks, or maybe even clean that up too. So, all right, give me a minute and I'll show you the finished results here. All right, I am back with a finished product here. Let's see this oval. We did pretty good considering we just eyeballed it. I didn't even get a dial indicator. I'll probably deburr. Well, it came right off with my finger there. So anyway, that's the inside finish of this thing, which isn't too bad considering that is a hole saw. And this is me just freehanding it with an end mill. You can see it's pretty straight of an oval there. So first oval and a big plate like that for me. So anyways, I need this so I can do engine work, which, you know, it's the floater plate for this. Okay. And then basically the tooling that goes here goes in this little cartridge pocket. Okay. That has a drop. So if you see this, the machine's on its side right now. Sorry for making everybody sick. But the tip drops down, so you can't have this sitting flat on anything, your tip. So you have to have a big, huge axis hole, which this is the exact same width as here. So we'll have this big hole. So I'll be able to totally have room in here, if that makes sense. Worst case, I have to make this just a little bit bigger. But anyways, that's this, you know. Something we have to make here in the machine shop every now and then to get the next type of work. So I don't have a really great boring bar stand. This is going to make all the difference for me. I've got some bar stock here that I'm going to show you. Right here where these plates are. The floater plate is going to ride on these. Uh-oh. And you'll see how I have this thing set up. I'm not going to use my angle plates for the head fixture. I have a different stand ready for these parallel bars, but they're very big. Okay. I think that's inch and 1.75 thick. And then they're 20-inch long, and I think they're 3 inches wide. So pretty big. Anyways. Okay, so we have the blind hole cutter. Okay. And what I'm going to show you is that technically I didn't need this plate all along. See where I'm at here? Just want everybody to see this. I made this plate still to act as a floater on these, so I still needed it. But see that? It doesn't quite hit there. Okay, so here we have our blind hole cutter. We have our clearance hole here. We can get down in there now. So you can see what the floater plate does. It is because I don't technically have a boring bar or a boring machine where it's like a table fixture, rollover stand and all that, where this type of machine here, let me zoom out, would float up there and then, yeah. So there's the other style is a boring bar stand, which here's the boring bar, and a stand is a big plate of steel, and I'll put a picture like right here. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I'll just say that. Now, I don't have that big a plate of steel to make. So what I did have, like I showed earlier, are these big bad boys. So the idea is to not have to ride the boring bar on the deck, because keep in mind, I do a lot of Subaru. Okay, so since the deck is so small, I'm going to be taking this deck, and it's going to anchor up under here like a table would. Okay, now this is very parallel and flat. This is very parallel and flat. These are going to be put on a new stand and fastened into a nice fixture and raise this up probably to this height. But the goal is to be able to fit like a K series or a D series in here, get different cartridges, okay, and start sleeving like with this setup. Okay. We'll see how it works. I'll show you guys along the way, you know, but, yeah, pretty cool. Just a little setup, a way to pimp this thing out. Okay. I don't have a table. They're like $1,000, maybe $1,500. And I try to make one here with this plate that I had, and obviously you can see it's not real thick. And your plate has to be real flat. I mean, this was real flat, but it was still 3/1000 variance all around it. And then I did the no-no of welding. And about where this gauge is, I did some welding under here. See that weld? It's not good at all, but it was to keep the table on this massive 2" by 2" support bar. Okay, that's under here where this weight would be sitting. Okay, so anyhow, if you put a straight edge on there, I think it's about 10/1000 high in the middle. So this turned into my metal rack for today. We'll talk about that later on what to do with the stupid rack. It was supposed to be a boring bar stand, and instead I learned much thicker metal needed. Okay, so that's today's chore. Is this floater plate. Okay, and oh yeah, I didn't mention the anchoring system. You have like this, okay, go through the cylinder of the block. No, I don't have enough clearance here. And then this doohickey. Okay, I gotta show this to everybody. This will go back here. Okay, which, there it goes. And it kind of sits here like that. Okay, and that T-slot right here, it's what grabs that nubbin there, and that there, that hole, you put this pin through it, okay, which is going to be this direction under your block or in the mains. I don't really put it in the mains because it can mar it. I put it on the oil pan flange, and that seems to be the way to anchor them down. And then away she goes. So I will show everybody this in action. I think I've got some demo videos I might put in here of me running the last Honda Civic on it or something. So this I'm trying to pimp it out for import stuff. So anyways, like, share, and subscribe. There's our little machine shop. So I got to show you the showroom, which I haven't shown you my showroom. And I have not shown you my assembly basement where I put the engines together or assemble anything. So I got some workbenches down there. I might add to the video here because I'm getting ready to go over there and there's an engine waiting for me to get picked up. So a lot of that work I'll be doing on another channel. This channel, I believe I'll just be making funny things and doing a little tool test or just running, you know, when I surface something, when I do this project. So there's a lot I'm going to put on here. That's just going to be kind of abstract, kind of like what I did today. Anyways, I'll let you go. Thank you much, guys. Talk to you soon.